Jai Swaminarayan. Shri Swaminarayan Bhagwan Ki Jai. Jai Swaminarayan. Today we have Puja Jnanvatsal Swami and Sadhu Atmachintan Das between us in Hyderabad. Puja Jnanvatsal Swami has been initiated as Sadhu in 1992 by our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj, the creator of Akshardham. He has done his mechanical engineering and he has given talks such as improve yourself, attitude, ethics and profession, stress management in various colleges, corporate field, for various executives all over the world. Today he is here to give us a talk on the topic improve yourself. I request Puja Jnanvatsal Swami to give a talk. Puja Jnanvatsal Swami.
गुणातीतोऽक्षरं ब्रह्म भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमः जनो जानन्निदं सत्यं उच्यते भववन्दना। श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवान की जय। अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराज की जय। राधा कृष्ण देव की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज की जय। महंत स्वामी महाराज की जय। प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज शताब्दी महोत्सव की जय। With prostrations at the divine feet of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and my Guru Hari, Param Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj, and my Diksha Guru, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj, the creator of this organization, to this level, my heartiest namaskar and good evening to all the students of this esteemed medical college under the able guidance and leadership of your Dean, Dr. Srinivas. Nice to be with you today evening, especially when once upon a time I was just about to enter the medical college for my academics. That was the year like 1987 when I got admission in 3 medical colleges in Gujarat, the MP Shah Medical College in Jamnagar, the MS Medical College in Vadodara. But then at that time I opted for engineering because I wanted to do my civil services, my UPSC exams. So I thought that I would find perhaps more time for preparing for my public services exams, being in an engineering college than in a medical college. I would find more time for that. And actually I was preparing for that, but then things turned the other way, perhaps in a better way for me, and I'm here in front of you, etc. So nice to be always among the students, and I'm always very happy, feel very elated when I see youngsters, the next generation of the country, you all, and so eager and enthusiastic that along with the academics, the basic values and virtues that are needed for a complete human being, to be a complete human being, you all are like, not just deserving it, you all want it. I'm asked by Dr. Srinivas Reddy to talk something about improve yourself. And this is an evolution, this is a constant process. That we evolve ourselves, teaching to our own selves, learning from the surroundings, bettering ourselves with our own thought processes, adding other resources. We constantly evolve as good human beings. And it is always that, along with your best academics, your values and virtues, they count more. Because in this 21st century, as you see, the state of affairs in the society, that these are the times of fancier houses but broken homes. These are the times of double incomes and more divorces. These are the times of high-rise buildings and low-rise characters. These are the times where man has gone all the way to the moon and has come back. But he finds it difficult to cross the road and meet the new neighbor. These are the times where we have broader highways, but very narrower viewpoints. These are the times when man has broken the atom and produced tremendous amount of energy. But he finds it extremely difficult to break a prejudice. He's broken the atom, but to break a prejudice, he finds it difficult. The list is very long describing the 21st century man and his state of affairs. But to cut it short in one line, these are the times when we have much to show in the show window and nothing in the storeroom. We utilize our minds more and express our hearts less. So we are best of technocrats. We are best of academicians. We are best of businessmen. But perhaps quite less as human beings. As Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan used to say, the great President of India, that we have learned to swim like a fish in water. We have learned to fly like a bird in air. But we haven't learned to walk like a sane human being upon this earth. So he said that these are the ages of guided missiles and misguided men. And it is true. I think all of you will agree with me and put your fingers at the top when I say that today we have the best education institutes in the world than at any other time in history. Yes or no? Today we have the best infrastructure for betterment of humankind in all walks of life than at any other time in history. Yes or no? Why then crimes are increasing day by day? And not just surprisingly, suddenly, perhaps the best human brains graduating out of some of the best institutes in the world are involved 24/7, 365 in making things that can wipe out human population upon the sun. Did we educate you from the best universities of the world to make such kind of things, WMDs, weapons of mass destruction to kill human beings? Those making the best weapons to have mass killings are not illiterate people. They are graduates from the best universities of the world. So they had the best of academics, but worst of humanities. We, that is you all, as the future generation to shoulder all the responsibilities of this world, along with the best of academics, you need to become the best of humans. And that is why a constant process to improve yourself. And what is improving oneself? The first important aspect that I would like to put forward in improving yourself is you should have a basic fundamental love for ethics in life. Doctor, am I right? You should love values from within. Only then you will lead those values. A basic love for values, virtues in life. You must love honesty. You must love ethics. You must love discipline. You must love norms. Only then you will enjoy your life, celebrate your existence, and leave a complete human being. People say it's a free world. I do not fully agree with it. It's a free and a bonded world both. It's a free and a bonded world both. I ask you, the students today, are you bonded with this institute? Yes, you have to come on time. Yes or no? You are bonded with this institute in terms of attending the periods, carry out all your academic assignments. Only then, a few years hence, because of this bonded world and living within the disciplines of this bonded student world, you will enjoy a financially free world. Yes or no? You enjoy a free world only when you discipline yourself in the bonded world. You got my point? You enjoy your free world, you enjoy your free will. Only then, once upon a time, for decades, you have bonded yourself to a good family structure, to a civilized social structure, to an organized way of life, to a disciplined, well-mannered institute, and under the able guidance of such experienced people. Bonded world is absolutely necessary to enjoy the free world. So under the word free world, don't just take everything for granted. I can do anything, whatever I want at any time. No. Sometimes, because of this attitude, and that attitude change into a way of life, you will ruin your life. So the first basic fundamental concept of improving our own self is your love for ethics. Never put aside that. If you play with ethics, initial stage is fine, easy money, good going, and experiencing sort of heaven pleasure upon this earth. But the day will come when ethics will play with you and you will lose everything in life. Love ethics from the bottom of your heart. That I can never be an indisciplined person. I can never be an unethical person. I can never leave aside my honesty. I can never put aside my duties for my pleasures. Creep deep into your heart and mind these basic fundamentals of improving yourself and becoming both at one time a smart professional and a great human being. You should be both at the same time, a smart professional and a great human being. So the basic fundamental number one is love ethics. Never play with it. Because if you play with ethics, the day ethics will play with you. For example, you are a medical student, but I give you an example of like an engineer who became an electrical engineer, started his career as a junior engineer, then went on to become a senior engineer, executive engineer, then a director of the board, and then becomes the chairman of the electricity board here, the Telangana Electricity Board. 40 years of service. My simple question to you is, does he have the right to put his finger inside the plug? Yes or no? Can you tell to the plug that, see, I am the chairman of electricity board, your distribution lies in my hand, and this is my finger, okay, take care of it. And then he puts that finger inside the plug then. Even if you are the chairman of the electricity board, you don't have the right to put your finger inside the plug. That means whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are, you don't have the right to play with ethics. Ethics is like electricity. चिपका देगी, मर जाओगे. Because electricity doesn't know the chairman or the board member. It only knows human flesh and blood. In the same way, ethics doesn't know you, whether you are the chairman or the MD or the director of a board. It only knows human flesh and blood. That even if you are the king of the skies, you have to leave India without an Indian passport. You got it? Even if the name of your company is Satyam and you go for Asatya practices, you can be in jail for 7 years. Even if you are the Sahara of thousands of homes, you can still like a Sahara in Bihar jail for 4 years. Whoever you are. If you put a small napkin inside your pocket and start taking the run-up and do the bowling, you can invite a live band. Playing with ethics can make you zero from hero within seconds. Many doctors I have seen, I have met. Perhaps I have addressed more than 100 medical conclaves all over the country and abroad. Many close friends have narrated some stories to me, first-hand stories, that many of the medical practitioners, they go for unethical practices. Sometimes it's a good tie-up with the pharmaceutical company, with the pathology laboratory, with the X-ray clinic, with the medical store. It's a vicious circle. And it's easy to get trapped into it. Because after graduating out from this college and after doing your PG, within 365 days you want a Mercedes. Within another 365 days you want a villa. And thereafter you will start dreaming of having a private jet for you. Because I am a doctor from ESIC, you know. I must have a Mercedes. I must have my private hospital. You know, I must have my villa, I must have my beach house. So it will be easily tangent to that. You will get attracted, rather pulled towards unethical practices and going into this vicious circle. Many doctors have lost their practices, lost their dignity, lost their status, reputation in the society. Many of them had to run away from the country. It happens. Just a simple example, gender detection in the womb is a crime and you can be jailed for it. A doctor couple in Ahmedabad used to practice it, charging high. And all the scandal came out, broke out. Today that 5-story centrally air-conditioned building in a very posh area of Ahmedabad in Gujarat lies vacant. Both of them are inside the prison. Total career, total life, ruined. Otherwise, they were a very known doctor couple in the medical fraternity in Ahmedabad. Happily. So never ever go for any unethical practice. Constantly improve yourself by telling your mind and heart. And constantly, academically trying to refine and reform your thoughts, that I always want to walk on the right track. You will be credited more in the society, not for your academics, but as a human being in the greatest stage of your life. Sachin Tendulkar is remembered as a cricketer, as a great batsman, but more is remembered as a great human being. Because he has never overstepped the limits of ethics. So today he is called for being the brand ambassador of many products all over the world. Because they know that Sachin's face, and people know that a person who has never entered into any type of controversy ever in his life. He has always had his back to answer to his critics. never is done. And if you lose out on ethics, what happened to Tiger Woods? Great golfer. Everything into training. So love for ethics. As you love your blood, as you love your heart, you must love ethics. Second important aspect of improving yourself, love humanity. Serve humanity. In whichever capacity you can, wherever you can, however you can. We have seen from very close quarters the medical fraternity. Each and every medico from heart, he has a generosity to him. Because he would see day in and day out people suffering. Poor people who could not afford medicines or could not afford certain treatments. They languish, they like suffering. So we have seen from very close quarters, and I must appreciate the fraternity for that all doctors, they have a soft heart. Maintaining that soft heart ever. You must love humanity, serve people. By that way, it has been medically proved. It has been proved by social surveys as well, that the more generous heart, that a more helping bent of life will keep your physical, mental and emotional health better. This has been scientifically, medically proved. It has been proved to that levels that when you have a helping heart, a helping bent of life, mind commands the order of certain secretion of hormones that distresses you. I don't exactly remember, but endorphin, I think, in blood is a hormone that reduces stress. They say when you have a helping act, when you are performing a selfless helping act, your blood has more levels of endorphin. And I think there are two hormones called cortisol and epinephrine, the levels of which produces stress. I am not well accustomed with all the medical terminology, but hope I am right. If cortisol and epinephrine are more found in the blood, if the stress levels are more, or when the stress levels they go up, they are found more in the blood, maybe vice versa. It has been medically proved that when you have a helping heart, a selfless act that you are performing, the levels of both these hormones go drastically down in the blood and you experience a stress-free state of mind. Many of my very good doctor friends in the US, Dr. Harshal is a very good orthopedic surgeon in New York, very closely associated with our organization. He once told me like about 7, 8, 10 years back that Swami, there is a custom now prevailing with the doctors in America that they have started prescribing an act of selflessness once a week and prayers to God officially in the prescription. I said, Dr. come on, don't tell me that. He said, Swami, I can send you the prescriptions. I said, not written by you, I want it from 10 different doctors. Only then I will talk of it somewhere. He sent me prescriptions of 10 different doctors who would prescribe medicine 1, medicine 2, medicine 3, whatever, 3, 4, 5 medicines for the patient accordingly. And the next agenda would be 2 hours of selfless service a week and 5 minutes of prayers every day. Officially prescribed by the medicals. I think every medico you want must definitely read a book by Dr. Bernie Siegel. And the title of the book is Love, Peace and Healing. If you have a piece of paper and pen, I would recommend all of you to write the title of this book. Thank you very much. And also again repeat the name of the author. The title of the book is Love, Peace and Healing. And the author is Dr. Bernie Siegel. Dr. Bernie, B-E-R-N-I, Bernie Siegel, S-E-A-G-U-L-L. In this book, Dr. Bernie Siegel, he has narrated the real life incidents. After writing this book, he would bring those characters on primetime American TV to narrate their stories. What selflessness can do, forget do, what selflessness can create miracles, unbelievable, beyond the ken of medical intelligence. In this book, he writes one incident. He says that a lady in California, she decided to have some social service. But I was now retired, 65, 70 years age, and still quite healthy, 5-10 years another good health definitely. She would go to the nearby cancer hospital and ask the oncologist, the surgeon there, that can you share with me pictures, that is photographs of maybe 3rd stage, 4th stage diagnosed cancer patients, and who definitely would not live more than 6 months upon this earth. And the doctor said, fine, okay. The lady would take the pictures of this, photographs of these cancer patients who had home, sit with the photograph very peacefully, calmly, pray to God that please cure this patient. He has his family, wife, children, parents at home. He's needed in his family. Please God. And then she would assume that I want to help him out. And you know what she had assumed? She would close her eyes and say that I have gone into a miniature form of only this size. I'm entering his body with a claw in my hand. I like shoveling out all the germs of cancer out from his body, and she would just like act. If somebody would see her at that time, you would feel that she has gone mad. And then she would say, okay, now all the germs of cancer, that is an imagination from her side, they have gone out of his body, he is cured. This she would continue for a few weeks and then go back to the doctor and say, I am confident that your patient is cured of cancer. Check him again. And when checked, 3rd and 4th stage cancers were cured. Can you believe this? You read this book and you will find this instance. Love, peace and healing. So, believe that selfless acts of help, prayers to God, they are beyond the ken of medical intelligence, and they can work miracles beyond the ken of medical intelligence. Medical processes are must, they are the fundamentals, they should be applied to all the patients, that is default. On and above that, prayers, they heal. Love, it heals. Selfless services and help, it heals. A big research in the United States and a positive result is a very conducive approach by the doctor towards the patient, considering each and every patient to be his family member. It is the start, that is the initiation of the healing process. I think you might be having certain subjects, or you might be studying in your finance course certain subjects related to something that I am talking now. Is it? Yeah. This is all medically proved. So don't just be a brain, be a heart and a brain both. You don't just exist upon this earth because of your brain. Actually, you enjoy this planet because of your heart. Make a good combination of it. Make a very good combination of it. Such type of talks, such type of topics, such type of theories and academics are very much necessary. I also suggest you a book, and the title of the book is What They Don't Teach You at Harvard. Of course, they will not teach you at ESIC then. But then, when your dean is here and hearing all the talks from him, how they sit, all restarted after 4 years completely locked down and shut down. And maybe before he came here, Dr. Srinivas came here, this was like just like any other warehouse, I would like say, from his talks. In this book, what they don't teach you at Harvard, they say basically for the complete development of the human being in all walks of life, you need the development of 3 H. The first H is the head. But when only the hand works, it is labor. Second H is the head. When the hand and the head work together, it becomes skill. And now the third H, you know better, heart. When the head and the heart, all 3 work together, it becomes art. Every act of your life must become an art. Involve all 3. Your hand, your head and your heart. Involve all 3 in your works. Then you will enjoy, celebrate your existence. And you'll be a complete human being, constantly improving yourself. And the last aspect, to improve yourself constantly till the last breath of your life, be a very strong believer in the existence and the doership of God. Many times we have an atheist belief, भगवान को किसने देखा है, कहाँ है भगवान, मैंने तो कभी देखा नहीं है, I am a man of science, I will only believe things that I see and hear. ये common argument चलती है. लेकिन thousands of things you believe, which you don't see. But you see it or experience it in a different way. So you believe that bacteria do exist. I tell you that upon this planet, if there are 1,000 things which you can see and believe, there are 10,000 things which you can't see and still they exist. So the basic notion that because he is not seen, he does not exist is very wrong. You have to see him with a different eye. Basically, all the worldly processes are seeing first and believing next. Spirituality and God is believing first and seeing next. Got it? All the worldly processes, seeing first and then believing. God and spirituality is believing first and seeing then. I need to follow that process. As simple as that. And in thousands of places we walk by faith. Why do we put all the logics here? At thousands of places we walk by faith. Tomorrow morning I will meet you at 9 a.m. That means you are confident that you are going to wake up tomorrow morning. Many don't. Many don't. Am I right or wrong? So we put faith at thousands of places. You will put a big faith when you are just circulating around the holy pyre, hand in hand with your life partner. That is during a marriage ceremony. With that faith that, okay, will continue for 25-50 years, silver jubilee, golden jubilee. If that time the doubts start pouring in, अरे यार divorce हो जाएंगे तो, अरे यार वो marriage ceremony चल रही है उसी वक्त आपके मन में doubt चालू हो जाएगा. My God, if divorce, my God, then you don't need, but you have to put faith. Silver jubilee, golden jubilee, chalega. Everywhere we walk by faith. 90% of our life is faith dependent. Only 10% is logic dependent. All of you play cricket? Yes or no? All of you play cricket? I am asking you a very simple question. The answer of which will be no from your side. I know. Have you ever questioned anybody, any authority, any player, umpire or anybody? Why these 3 stumps? Who decided these 3 stumps? Who gave the authority to decide the 3 stumps? After we decided the 3 stumps, who was the accepting committee? First tell me the history of that, only then I will start playing cricket. Did you question it any time? You accepted 3 stumps, bat, 22 yards, size of the ball, boundary and everything. You accepted it without having any knowledge of it even today. Yes or no? Even today you don't, even me good, I don't have the knowledge. But then we accepted the norms, we enjoyed the game. Simple. If you would have gone with the sleeves rolling, that first 10 you decided all these things. I want the whole history and the textbook of it. Only then I will break the game. Then what the rest of the 10 players will do? Tell you. Ah yes, that was the right option. Let us enjoy the game. 90% of our living is faith and acceptance of norms prevailing. Only 10% is logic. So 90% you live by heart, then you will constantly improve yourself. Only 10% is brains and logic. Again, from a different aspect, the best scientific brains upon this earth, they were staunch believers in the existence of the worship of God. Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Archimedes, Pascal, you name the top 100 scientists. I have read all their biographies. I have read more than 500 biographies and autobiographies in my life. I can give you the gist of it. They were all strong believers in the existence of the worship of God. Isaac Newton, you know, more than 150 discoveries and inventions to his name. He was once sitting in his backyard. He was just looking at his thumb and like these movements in his thumb. Fascinated. Put the cup down and ran inside the study room. So much fascinated by it, a thought sprung up. Ran inside his study room. His wife was used to all this kind of his behaviors. And he writes in his autobiography, now I am putting him not just word to word but letter to letter. Isaac Newton, he writes in his autobiography that in the absence of any other proof, the movement of this thumb alone convinces me of God's existence. A man with 150 discoveries and inventions to his name, laws of motion, gravitation force, this, that. The calculus in the mathematics that we study is again Newton's discovery. He writes that in the absence of any other proof, just the movement of this thumb alone convinces me of God's existence. Nobody else can put so much of movements in this small mechanism. He counted 12 types of different movements. We know only one from childhood. To show the thumb. And second one according to the modern era. Good. We only know 2 types of thumb movements. He calculated 12. And he said, Albert Einstein, perhaps the most intelligent person ever on this earth, as put forward by the scientific fraternity, he writes in his autobiography that my only aim, again I am putting in letter to letter, not just word to word. He writes that my only aim behind all my discoveries and inventions and experiments was to know how God created this earth. Simple. I was talking to 400 scientists at Tajland and Bandra just a couple of years back in that convention, and my topic was logic versus faith. Interesting for me and them both. And you would be surprised that after my 15-minute presentation, they had 10 minutes questionnaire, but they carried on for more than 1.5 hours, putting aside the next session. I said, fine. And the first question posed to me was very intelligent question. I'm one of the leading scientists of the country, and after that questionnaire, we became best friends. He said, Swami, you were talking of faith, but I want to ask you a very simple question. Give me the logical proof of the existence of God in one line, not quoting any scriptures. You can't say, tell me that the God Krishna said I exist, so I exist. No, not that. Give me the logical proof of the existence of God in one line without the support of the scriptures and faith. No support of scriptures and faith. Logical. Can you? I said yes. And when I said yes, confidently there was an uproar in the whole assembly hall. And I told them, yes. And then I told them that you give me the name of any other thing or object other than God which does not exist and is discussed so much. Now I'm asking you this question. Give me the name of a thing or an object which actually does not exist and is discussed so much. None. That means the reverse is true. Whatever is discussed to that level is existing. Whatever is discussed to this level always exists. Simple. Otherwise you don't. Are you discussing any time, anything or object which does not exist? Tell me. आप कोई भी चर्चा करते हो तो उसका अस्तित्व तो है ना, तो ही चर्चा करते हो. जिसकी भी चर्चा आप करते हो वो अस्तित्व में है. जिसका अस्तित्व न हो उसकी चर्चा होती ही नहीं है कभी. फिर पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव चर्चा होती है. That depends upon the mindset. Fine, accepted. And it is a rich heritage and a rich culture where diversities are respected. So pluses and minuses, atheism, theism, all respected. Fine. We don't disrespect an atheist. Fine, it is his way of life. Good. No issue. Everybody has the right to have their own thought processes. It's a basic human dignity and a basic democratic right. But that does not mean that God does not exist. And all the scientists 400 people are looking at my face. Yes, there is nothing. I said, I give you all 2 minutes. And they said, there is nothing that does not exist and we discuss so much. Like we studied the theorems in the 8th, 9th and 10th standards. Suppose x is not equal to y. So we got it. So everybody are in smiles. And at the end of the theorem we proved it. No, x is equal to y. So I started that. Give me one name that does not exist and is discussed so much. No, sorry, there is nothing discussed to this level. Always exists. So God exists. Otherwise, there is not discussed so much, written so much, said of so much, talked so much. Believe in it. Believe in his doership. Then I ask very simple question to all the 400 scientists. If for some reason, tomorrow morning, in the revolution and the rotation of the earth rotates and revolves both, there is some change of speed. Not just change, a staggering starts. Then you, all the 400 scientists, all the scientists of NASA, all the scientists of ISRO, all the scientists of European Space Agency, all of you can come together to make the earth rotate and revolve at the original speed. समझ लो कुछ हुआ और अर्थ की स्पीड में स्टैगरिंग चालू हो गया, प्लस माइनस, कभी फास्ट जाती है कभी कम जाने लगी, तो क्या होगा पता है? Sometimes the days will be 40 hours and nights will be 5 hours. Sometimes the days will be 10 hours and nights will be 25 hours. बेसिक तो प्रॉब्लम ये रहेगा कि ESIC का पहला स्टेप कौन से टाइम पे चालू करें. The D will tell you the exam start on 24th, लेकिन 24th the ID का होगा. For thousands and thousands of millions of years, the earth around its axis and around the sun is moving at dot speed, dot speed. So you have the perfect day and night. That means somebody is maintaining this speed. Otherwise it can't happen. Then I told this scientist that have you come across any person who has complained to you that I was on the other side of the Amazon in Latin American countries and that the gravitational pull was a bit low and I know I was like half a feet away from the ground, above the ground, and on the other side of New Zealand I was there and there. The gravitational pull was too much and my half a feet, my legs were inside the ground. Has anybody complained to you? Or have you experienced that? I said it's amazing that there was when only one person upon this earth, the gravitational pull was maintaining its balance. Today 7 billion and the same gravitational pull is maintaining the balance of 7 billion. And tomorrow even 15 billion population upon this earth. I don't think anybody would be sunk down on the ground because of more gravity or anything start flying because of less gravity. Who is maintaining the perfect pull according to a new increase in populations? And anything that is used has to get recreated. See, if I catch your hand and pull you a bit, that means I'm using some energy. Energy is getting used. Fine. To maintain that energy, I will have some input. Fine. Then the gravitational pull is pulling so much people and objects and animals and everybody towards it. Is it getting used? Think a lot before you answer. Huh? I'll counter you immediately. Gravitational pull, I just pull your hand and the energy is getting used. That is confirmed, okay? And to reinforce that, I have to have some energy inputs in form of food, juices, whatever. If the gravity is pulling everything down, it is getting used or not. If it is getting used, who is regenerating it? How it is getting regenerated? To the perfect micro level. Somebody is tempted. Believe. That is wrong. This is Cohen, again a leading neuroscientist. They both at the University of Pennsylvania did a very fine research. Rather, it was more of a social survey. They had 4,000 people who had never done the chanting of the holy name, meditation or prayers in their life. Brought them together, started an experiment. 12 minutes of meditation and chanting the holy name in whichever form of God you believe, Ram, Krishna, Swaminarayan, Jesus, whatever. Sitting in a good meditation posture. 12 minutes every day for 8 weeks. They were called, assigned, and then sent back to their homes. Mind mapping was done, everything was done well. Then after 8 weeks, they were called again and they were observed for another 20 years. They had to continue with this practice. And the subjects, they admit. They come to a conclusion, you can see on the University of Pennsylvania website, that the conclusion was their immunity system became stronger because of this practice. Secondly, they live a better, healthy, longer life because of this practice. Thirdly, they remain in good moods and good spirits, even in some awkward situations, better than those who were non-believers. Isn't this a big advantage of prayer and connecting with the divinity? As simple as that. Our Guru Pramukhji Swami Maharaj, the creator of this Akshardham at New Delhi, is a huge international Indian culture depicting monument. And beautiful exhibitions. For example, one of the exhibitions there is you sit in the boat goes into the river, and in 10 minutes of boat ride you see 10,000 years of human history. Beautiful exhibitions. The first IMAX film in India, huge screen. And Bhagwan Swaminarayan is a small boy in Gilcut. At the age of 11, he traveled the length and breadth of India. And you see India, culture, diversity, ethics, values, and the great heritage through the eyes of an 11-year-old boy. Wonderful. What visit? He, Pramukhji Swami, he used to say that 15 to 20 minutes of a spiritual session by all the family members coming together every day in the evening is one way beneficial in all walks of life. First 5 minutes chanting the holy name, second 5 minutes reading a scripture. Ramayana or Mahabharata, you would say they are old dated. You know, Ramayana, Mahabharata, they are old dated and out of date. I tell you with challenge, and this challenge you will realize after 20-25 years of your life. Any incident, now listen very carefully, any incident that has happened in your life so far, is happening or will happen, has already happened somewhere in Ramayana or Mahabharata. Such are these great acts. Any person upon this earth out of population of 7 million, he picks up any incident of his own life and he would find a resemblance of it in the Ramayana or Mahabharata. If he has studied both these epics well, he just have to copy-paste the counseling from that in his life. How did this great characters believe, thought and behave in this problem, and he would come out of that problem. Such are these great epics. Very deep researches have been done on our great scriptures in the West. आपको विक्रम और बेताल की बातें कैसी लगती हैं? Have you seen the TV serials of King Vikramaditya and the Ghost Mehta? 32 episodes थे. देखा था? Stories है और क्या? A professor at Harvard, one fine morning he could lay his hands on it He read this. He found it fascinating. He was a management faculty there, a very senior faculty. He said, this is an expert piece of communication. Because the ghost would climb on the shoulder of the king Vikramaditya and said, you have to do all the acts, perform all your duties and take decisions according to my advice. Vikramaditya would tell him that I have to run my kingdom according to the policies and the administration setup. He said, no, otherwise I will choke you and kill you. So King Vikramaditya would take up all the administration work according to the policies decided. And he would explain the ghost, see, I have done according to you, not according to me. And this professor said, this is a smart piece of communication. You do the job your way and explain to your dean, sir, we did according to you. Isn't this good? Good smile on everybody's face. You won't get a dean of the class of the person that he is. Know him better and he will make your life better. He did a research, he wrote a thesis, he got a PhD degree. Today at Harvard Business School, if you are pursuing MBA with communications, as your MBA Finance, MBA Marketing, MBA in Communications, Bikram and Betal is the textbook for reference number 1. Such lofty. Dr. Veer Singh has written a book, Management Wisdom of Lord Krishna. Again a research, he got a PhD for it. On the left page of this book, or this entire 300-page book, you would find the great management principles propagated by the top management gurus of the world. Augmentino, Jim Collins, Stephen Covey, Ken Blanchard, Anthony Robbins. All these top management gurus. Modern day management theories. Proposed by them, practiced by them, taught by them, the top professionals. And on the right page of this book, that theory practically exhibited by Krishna on Kurukshetra. What a book. So, these are lofty scriptures. They will teach you, they are not outdated. I just give you 2 examples. I have 10 with me. Keep that faith. Read them 5 minutes daily and you will be a different person. So those 15-20 minutes of spiritual sessions at home with your family, or even if I do when you have 3 new partners, will energize you morally, spiritually, ethically to improve yourself constantly. I went to the University of, I wanted to have some research done that what is told by Pramukh Swami to have a spiritual session every day in the evening. Has it been told by somebody or is it research somewhere in the world? So I asked 1 or 2 youths in our organization to go after this. And they found it on the University of Columbia website and an organization called Child Trends in US. They have done research. I end the last 2 minutes with this. In 100 countries of the world, they surveyed 1 lakh families across caste, creed, color, religion. And the basic 1-point survey and research was those families who believed in God and did some religious rites and rituals every day. And those families who did not believe in God and didn't do any religious rites or rituals. What advantage, if at all, the believer family had over the non-believer family? This was practically to be asked. 100 countries and 1 lakh families. So it was really a cross-section survey. You would find on the website 100 advantages that a believer family had over a non-believer family. For a few minutes, forget the scriptures and the heavens and the hell. Practical found out in the surveys and research. 100 advantages a believer family had over a non-believer family. First advantage, the level of acceptance and tolerance among the family members of the believer family were found to be much better than in the non-believer family. Isn't this a big advantage? Level of acceptance and tolerance between family members. Isn't this a good advantage of believing in God? Forget believing in God for the heavens. At least believe in God for this advantages upon this earth. That I term in my talks as professional belief, commercial belief. Commercial belief in God. Fine, no issue. He accepts everything. Second advantage, they write that the overall health of all the family members of a believer family and involved in some small rites and rituals were found to be much better than the overall health of the non-believer family. Again, not a big advantage of believing God. Third, they wrote, the academics of the children of the believer family were found to be overall much better than the academics of the children of the non-believer family. Again, a big advantage. Fourth advantage, the complaints of some kind of notorious behaviors of children at school or in the neighborhood were found to be much less in the believer family than in the non-believer family. Again, a big advantage for better society. I gave you 4, rest 96 you read it. Otherwise, I'll carry on till tomorrow morning. And as such, I have spoiled your small vacation also. As your respected Dean Dr. Srinivas was very thorough gentleman. But then he has arranged this session today in the evening. We are supposed to come in the morning or in the noon time, but we had some other engagement, so we could not come here. And I would say sorry from my side that you all had to keep yourself here this evening. Otherwise, you were all proceeding for your weekends to your back to your families, parents, and to your places. So you can move on after this. They are allowed to move on. Fine. So I would say that share some part of what you have heard today, and I taught you all the faiths through logics. I have taught you all the faiths through logics. You can share it with your parents, you can share it with your brother, sister, other family members, with your good friends back home. But this is the essence of it. So these 3 things, love for ethics, love for humanity, and absolute faith in the existence and the doership of God and connecting with it daily through prayers, is the human self of you. Be a good medical self of you and be a good human self of you also. That is a perfect life lived. My all prayers for all of you that you graduate out from this wonderful institute to become wonderful professionals, carrying out your profession a step further during a lifetime. Be a good help to the society. Maintain a good dignity level of your own self with love for ethics, humanity, and faith in God. And may you carry the country a step further and you shoulder the responsibilities next. My best wishes to all of you. My all prayers for all of you. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed and hope we meet again. Prayers.
Thank you, Swamiji. I guess we will release the energy with a standing ovation to both of the great staff persons here. And we have nothing than to say that we will follow what is said in the letter and spirit for our patients, which is the most important thing. For us, the teaching, patience and research is the most important thing, patient care. We are really blessed to be present, sir. And with this, we will discuss. Thank you very much, sir.